So we're sitting here in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at this stack of papers on the desk in front of me.
Yes. The artifact.
And I have to be completely honest
Right.
with you and with everyone listening right now.
Go on.
I almost threw this in the recycling bin.
I'm not surprised.
When the research team dropped this on my desk, my first thought was that it was a prank.
Hmm.
You know, that one of the interns was trying to see if I'd actually take a transcript of a fever dream and treat it like it was serious literature.
A reasonable assumption.
We usually tackle history. We look at science.
Yeah.
Complex geopolitical shifts. And today,
Today, the dossier in front of us is titled The Real Smart Mop.
do not dismiss the artifact because of its title. That is the very first trap the text sets for you.
It's incredibly hard not to dismiss it. I've read through this 3 times now.
Yeah.
And on the surface, to anyone with, a functioning frontal lobe, this appears to be a transcript of a commercial.
It appears to, but not a normal commercial. It reads like a commercial written by an AI that's been fed a diet of, I don't know, horror movies, hallucinogens, and late-night infomercials from the mid-90s.
The chaos is deliberate.
It's chaotic, it's vulgar, it makes claims that, frankly, violate the known laws of physics. It promises absorption, sure, but the logic underneath it all, the logic is terrifying.
And now you're beginning to understand you are doing exactly what the text wants you to do.
Which is what?
You're reacting to the surface level noise. You see a pitch for a cleaning tool. You see a smart mop.
And you don't.
I have spent the last 48 hours doing nothing but reading these lines over and over again. And I am telling you with absolute certainty, this is not a mop.
Then what is it?
This is a totem.
A totem.
It is a manifesto. It is a prophetic text about the post-human condition, and it's disguised as a simple sales pitch.
Okay, that is a massive philosophical burden to place on what looks like a plastic stick with a sponge on the end.
But that's why we're here, isn't it?
I suppose it is. To find the darkness in the mundane. So, fine. Let's accept your premise just for the sake of this deep dive.
Good.
Let's assume this isn't just the ravings of a lunatic selling a cleaning product. Let's assume there is some profound meaning here.
There is.
Then my role today is to be the anchor. I am going to demand logic from this text. I want to know how these claims, and we'll get to them, the aliens, the ancient artifacts, eating diapers, how they hold up to any kind of scrutiny.
Scrutiny is the correct approach, but not logical scrutiny.
If this is a manifesto, as you claim, then it has to have some internal logic. But it's written in the language of absolute madness.
Or prophecy. You see, the madman and the prophet often speak the same dialect.
And the difference is?
It's only the timeline that distinguishes them. You're looking for linear logic. You want A to lead to B. You want a product feature to lead to a consumer benefit.
That's how arguments work.
But the smart mop operates in a non-linear reality. The narrator, this figure we only know as Anthony Sullivan, is not a salesman.
Who is he then?
He's a trickster figure, a demigod. He's not introducing a tool, he is introducing a weapon, a companion, an ancient deity. If you try to analyze this with the logic of the marketplace, you will fail. We have to analyze it with the logic of a dream.
Or a nightmare.
More accurately, yes, a nightmare.
Then let's step into the nightmare. And we have to start at the very beginning, the opening salvo of this entire text.
Foundation.
The narrator doesn't start by saying, "Hello, please buy my mop." He starts with a claim that immediately throws our entire understanding of history into a blender. He asserts quite boldly that the smart mop is an ancient Mesopotamian artifact that we've recently started to manufacture.
Yes, the Mesopotamian anachronism, the first glitch.
Okay, let's unpack that. Mesopotamia. We're talking about the cradle of civilization, the land between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers.
Sumer, Akkad, Babylon.
Exactly. We're talking about the Bronze Age, roughly 3000 to 1000 BCE. They had cuneiform tablets. They built ziggurats. They pioneered early irrigation. Do you know what they didn't have?
You're going to tell me.
Injection-molded plastic polymers and synthetic hyperabsorbent sponges.
How can you be so certain?
Because it's historically impossible. The material science simply did not exist. It's anachronistic by about 5,000 years. So when the narrator claims this is an ancient Mesopotamian artifact, he's lying. It has to be a joke.
No.
It's a throwaway line to make it sound impressive. It's just marketing fluff.
It is not a joke. In fact, it's the most critical line in the entire text.
How can it possibly be the most critical line?
Because it establishes the temporal framework of the smart mop. It establishes cyclical time. Think about it just for a moment.
I am, and it makes no sense.
If the smart mop is Mesopotamian, it means it predates the mess it is currently designed to clean.
Okay.
It predates the modern home. It predates the linoleum and the laminate flooring it cleans. It implies that the mop is a kind of Platonic ideal. It has always existed.
So you're saying the mop is eternal. It's a god.
I am saying the text suggests that cleaning, or order, is the primordial state of the universe.
Order is the default.
Yes. And chaos. The mess came later. The mop was there at the beginning, in Sumer, in Babylon. It was lost to history, perhaps. Perhaps because humanity became too dirty, too sinful to be able to wield it.
And now we're worthy again.
And now, recently, we have started to manufacture it again. It's a rediscovery of the holy grail of hygiene. We're not inventing a new tool. We are remembering an old god.
That is a deeply theological reading of what is, again, a clean product. You're saying the mop is the alpha.
It's an ontological reading. The mop represents order. Humanity represents the mess.
We're the anomaly.
We are. The mop has been waiting for thousands of years for us to catch up to its capacity for erasure. But notice what he does immediately after grounding us in ancient history. He doesn't stay there.
No, he doesn't. He whips us directly into the cosmos.
The vertigo effect.
That's right. The very next line. Aliens visit our planet from time to time. They come here to study our smart mops.
From the mud of Mesopotamia straight to the stars. It's meant to destabilize you.
Well, it's working. But let's look at the logic of that claim for a second. We're talking about extraterrestrial life. Civilizations advanced enough to master interstellar travel.
Type 3 civilizations, perhaps.
They've cracked faster than light propulsion. They have likely solved energy scarcity. They come all the way to Earth. And they ignore the pyramids. They ignore the Great Wall of China. They ignore the internet, Shakespeare, nuclear fission, and all our wars.
All of our beautiful, complex messes.
They bypass all of human achievement and failure to look at a sponge.
Now you must ask yourself the important question.
Which is?
Why? Why would a superior intellect, a cosmic intelligence, care about a mop?
They wouldn't. That's my entire point. It's absurd. It's meant to be funny.
Unless the mop is the only thing on this planet that actually functions.
The only thing.
That's a
Huge claim.
Look at the rest of the text, which we will get to. It describes a world of people eating diapers, selling sand door to door, and leaking condiments from their chests. We are a broken species. We are messy. We are inefficient. Our art is confused. Our politics are a disaster.
So from an alien perspective.
To an alien observer, humanity is a failed experiment. We are just noise and fluids. But the smart mop, it does exactly what it says it does. It absorbs. It removes the error. It works perfectly.
So the aliens are studying the mop because it's the only example of pure competence they can find on the planet.
Competence, yes, but it's darker than that. They're also studying our ability to erase ourselves.
Erase ourselves.
In a broken world, the most valuable tool is the one that makes things disappear. The mess, the evidence, the failure. The aliens recognize the mop as the superior life form.
A superior life form?
Yes, we are just the biological substrate, the worker ants who manufacture it for them to study.
He says, they come here to study our smart mops, not us.
Exactly. We are the background of the exhibit. The mop is the piece of art, the focus of the study.
It's a bleak assessment of human worth.
Yeah.
But all right, if the mop is the superior life form, we need to talk about its biology. Or I guess it's physics.
It's metabolism.
Because the text makes some truly wild claims about what this thing can consume. We're given a spectrum of filth that is, frankly, baffling. The narrator invites us to drop Chucky Finster's hair right on your mess.
A very specific cultural artifact from a very specific time.
And then he describes the mess itself. He says, whether it be misplaced diarrhea or fluoroantimonic acid.
The spectrum of the vial, the organic and the inorganic.
I need to stop you here because I did the research on this. I wanted to see if this was just random, shocking word association, or if there was a method to this madness.
There is always a method.
Diarrhea, we all know, it's biological waste, it's organic, it's disgusting, but it's a standard mess. But fluoroantimonic acid, do you have any idea what that is?
I assume it is an acid. A powerful one.
It's the strongest superacid known to man. Its chemical formula is H2SBS7. It is roughly 20 quintillion times stronger than pure sulfuric acid.
Quintillion.
It protonates hydrocarbons.
Yeah.
It dissolves glass. It explodes on contact with water. If you dropped fluoroantimonic acid on your kitchen floor, you would not need a mop. You would need to evacuate the entire neighborhood.
There would be no floor left.
The floor would dissolve. The foundation of your house would dissolve. The fumes would melt your lungs. The idea that a plastic mop could absorb this is physically impossible. The mop would cease to exist in an instant.
You're still applying chemistry. The narrator is applying philosophy. This is the concept of the great equalizer.
But why group those two specific things, diarrhea and a world-ending superacid?
Because to the smart mop, there is no difference. This is the horror of the object.
The horror.
It does not judge the nature of the matter it consumes, organic decay, like diarrhea, or total chemical annihilation, like the acid. It is all just stuff. It is all just mess to be absorbed.
It flattens the hierarchy of filth.
The mop flattens the hierarchy of all matter. In our limited human view, poop is gross and acid is dangerous. To the mop, they are simply inputs. It represents the uncaring, devouring nature of the universe itself. It absorbs the biological and the chemical with equal indifference.
It's like the black hole of the kitchen.
Precisely. And look at the terminology he uses. This is key. Here at Smart Mop headquarters, we call messes Smart Mop snacks.
Yes, that line. It creeped me out. Snack.
It anthropomorphizes the tool, but not in a cute, Disney-fied way.
No.
It does so in a predatory way. If the mess is a snack, then the mop is an organism that needs to feed.
It has a hunger.
It feeds on entropy. Entropy is the tendency of the universe to move toward disorder. A spill, a leak, a mess, that is entropy in action. The mop reverses that local entropy by consuming it. But the language implies a need, a hunger. It suggests that if you stop making messes, the mop might starve.
Or it might start hunting for a snack.
Exactly. If there is no misplaced diarrhea or fluoroantimonic acid on the floor, what becomes a snack? Your foot, your pet.
And what about the very specific reference to Chucky Finster's hair? For anyone younger listening, Chucky Finster was a character on a 90s cartoon, Rugrats.
The anxious one.
The anxious, scared kid with the messy red hair. Why drop his hair specifically onto the mess?
It blurs the line between reality and fiction. The text is actively deconstructing the boundaries of what is real.
It's a glitch.
It is the glitch. If you can clean up a fictional character's hair with a Mesopotamian artifact while aliens are watching you, where are you? You are not in a kitchen anymore. You are in a state of hyper-reality.
So the mop cleans up cultural debris just as easily as physical debris.
It absorbs the nostalgia of the 1990s along with the acid that dissolves the present. It consumes everything.
It feels like a fever dream where the channels are changing too fast. And just when you think you have a handle on the physics of the cleaning, the narrator pivots to the physical performance of the user.
Ah, yes.
We have to talk about the limbo.
The ritual.
He calls it a game of limbo. The narrator claims, and I'm quoting the source here, "I'm the fucking limbo champion."
A boast, but also a spiritual claim.
And the visual. Well, the text implies this physical contortion, getting low to the ground. In a normal sales pitch, you'd emphasize ergonomics. You'd say, no bending, save your back.
This text does the exact opposite.
It celebrates the bending. It celebrates the contortion. Why?
Because it is not about ergonomics, you see. It is about submission.
Submission. To what? The mop. The floor.
To the dirt. To the mess itself. The limbo is a dance where you lower yourself. You go down toward the earth, toward the filth. To use the smart mop effectively, the narrator suggests you must debase yourself.
You have to get on its level.
You must contort your body. You must become the limbo champion, the champion of going low. It's a ritual dance celebrating the abject. You are getting closer to the filth, almost worshiping it right before you remove it.
That is a deeply disturbing image. But I have to say, it pales in comparison to what comes next.
I agree.
We arrive now at section 3 of our outline, the grotesque and the beverage. And I should warn the listeners, this is where the text goes from being merely weird to being medically insane.
This is the crocodile paradigm.
I'm going to read this line slowly because I want everyone to really visualize what is being proposed here.
Please do.
You can shove the smart mop up a crocodile's asshole, absorb the ass juice, put it in a glass, and save it for later. It's the perfect beverage for any meal.
The transubstantiation of waste?
Wait, hold on. Transubstantiation. That's a heavy, specific religious term. It refers to the miracle of the Eucharist. You're applying that to crocodile excrement.
I am. Look at the mechanism described. You take the vilest substance imaginable, asbestos, from a dangerous primordial predator. It is toxic. It is waste. It is death.
It's beyond disgusting.
You pass it through the medium of the smart mop, the holy artifact, and what comes out on the other side?
Crocodile poop in a glass.
A perfect beverage.
It's not a beverage. Just because you put it in a glass doesn't make it drinkable. It's still toxic waste.
But the text says it is. And to understand the psychosis of this world, we must trust the text. This represents a completely closed-loop system.
The closed loop.
Think about the Fremen in the novel Dune with their still suits, recycling their own sweat and urine because water is so scarce. This is that same concept, but taken to its most horrific logical extreme.
So this is about resource scarcity.
The source suggests that in this world, there is no waste, nothing is disposable, everything must be consumed, even the most vile excretions are a resource.
It is the ultimate, horrifying vision of sustainability.
Precisely. We are so used to throwing things away. But the text asks, where is away? There is no away. The mop forces us to confront that truth. If you cannot throw it away, you must drink it.
It suggests a world so barren that reptile fluid becomes a delicacy.
And notice the casual nature of it. Save it for later.
Right. As if it's a vintage wine. Oh, we're having fish for dinner tonight. I have a lovely Crocodile 26 decanting in the kitchen.
It normalizes the grotesque. That is the power of the narrator. He is a high priest of this new reality. He makes the unthinkable sound like a simple household tip. He is reprogramming your gag reflex.
I think my gag reflex is still fully intact. Thank you very much. Let's shift gears from the biological horror to the situational absurdity. Section 4.
The Sisyphean nightmare.
The narrator presents a hypothetical scenario that supposedly justifies the need for this mop. He says, and again, the aggression, picture this, you son of a bitch. There's someone going door to door selling sand.
The sand salesman. A mythological figure in this new pantheon.
But let's look at this purely from a logical standpoint. Who sells sand door to door?
It's a foolish enterprise.
Sand is a commodity. It's used in construction, or it's free if you live near a beach. Selling it door to door implies a complete breakdown of all known economic models. It's a transaction that makes absolutely no sense. Imagine the knock on your door. Hello, would you like to buy a bag of dirt?
Unless the salesman is not selling a product.
What else would he be selling?
A condition.
A condition. What do you mean?
Sand represents time, the hourglass. It represents erosion. It represents the desertification of the suburbs. The salesman is an agent of chaos. He brings sand to your door. He is bringing entropy into your safe, clean home.
It's an invasion.
He is not a salesman. He is the grim reaper of cleanliness.
And the homeowner's response in this bizarre scenario is equally baffling. The text says, they drop it on your floor and try to clean it up by blasting it with ketchup.
Fighting earth with blood, or simulated blood.
It's ketchup. It's a condiment. Why on earth would you try to clean sand with ketchup? You just make a mud pie. You're making it infinitely worse.
It is the logic of panic. When faced with the sand salesman with the intrusion of pure chaos, the human panics, we reach for the nearest thing available. And in this culture of consumption, the nearest thing is a bottle of ketchup. We try to mask the problem with more consumption.
But then, the escalation. This is where the anatomy lesson completely falls apart.
The mustard tank.
But then they sneeze and their titties empty their mustard tanks on your floor.
A truly shocking image.
Titties empty their mustard tanks.
Yeah.
I have looked at a lot of Grey's Anatomy diagrams in my time. I have never once seen a mustard tank located in the thoracic cavity.
No, you have not.
This implies the human body is no longer biological. It's a machine. It's a storage vessel for condiments.
This is exactly the body without organs concept that philosophers like Deleuze and Guattari discussed, but taken to a parodic, grotesque, and literal extreme.
You're going to have to explain that. Body without organs.
It's a complex concept, but to simplify, Deleuze and Guattari argued against the organized, hierarchical organism. They viewed the body as a site of flows, intensities, and connections, a machine that is plugged into other machines.
And in this text?
In this text, the human form has ceased to be a biological organism with lungs and a heart. It has become a leaky vessel of industrial sludge. We are not men and women. We are bags of ketchup and mustard.
The mustard tank suggests we are mechanized. We're not producing milk or sweat. We are producing processed food product.
And it happens because of a sneeze. A simple reflex action causes a catastrophic industrial leak from the chest.
It portrays the human body as fundamentally broken, volatile, and disgusting. We are pressurized containers of mess just waiting to explode. The sneeze is only the trigger.
And look at the chain of failure. We try to fix the sand, time with ketchup, distraction, but we only add to the chaos with mustard, bodily failure. It is a portrait of absolute human incompetence. We cannot fix the problem. We can only make it stickier.
And what is the solution provided by the mop?
Violence.
Pulverize that shit.
Exactly. The mop doesn't wipe, it doesn't sponge, it pulverizes.
To pulverize is to reduce to dust, to nothing.
The mop does not clean, it destroys the evidence of our failure, it annihilates the sand, the ketchup, the mustard, and perhaps even the shame of the mustard tank explosion. It is a violent, total redemption.
This theme of violence, it runs through the entire text. It's not just in the solution.
No, it's fundamental.
We've reached the section on what we're calling the War of the Objects. The narrator describes this smart mop as, quote, the perfect weapon to slaughter string mops, sponge mops.
Slaughter, not replace, not outperform, slaughter.
It's the language of genocide, but it's applied to cleaning tools. It implies that the smart mop cannot coexist with other mops. There is a war for the floor.
It is a war of ideology. The string mop represents the old, messy, inefficient, it just spreads bacteria around. The smart mop is a fascist entity in this context.
A fascist mop.
It demands the total eradication of the lesser mops. It is a purification of the species of cleaning tools. It frames the broom closet as a battlefield.
And then the text turns the paranoid directly toward the user. This line, I'll admit, it actually made me look over my shoulder in my own kitchen. It can protect you if you're being hunted by a broom.
This is perhaps the most frightening line in the entire text.
Why are we being hunted by brooms?
This brings us into the realm of object-oriented ontology, or the philosophical idea that objects have their own existence, their own desires, independent of humans.
We think our tools are passive.
We assume the broom leans in the corner until we need it. This text peels back that comfortable illusion. The broom has agency. The broom has a grudge. It is hunting you.
So the domestic space is not safe.
The tools have turned against the masters. This is a survival horror scenario happening in your pantry.
You know, in horror movies, it's dolls that come to life. Child's Play, Annabelle. They're scary because they have faces. A broom is faceless. It's just a stick and bristles. The idea of a broom silently stalking you down a hallway is deeply terrifying.
It creates a paranoid environment. You are not safe in your own home. The most mundane objects are now a threat.
So the smart mop is a traitor to its kind. It's the one object that decides to side with the human.
Yes, the traitor object. It is the only thing standing between you and the uprising of the bristles. It can protect you. We are safe only if we align ourselves with the mop. If we trust the broom, we die. If we buy the smart mop, we might just survive the night.
The text reinforces this idea, the danger of the home environment, repeatedly. It says, your wood floor is dangerous. It says, tumbleweed is a problem.
The floor itself wants to kill you, and the tumbleweed, a symbol of the desolate, uncontrolled wilderness, is invading your living room. Nature is reclaiming the home.
So the domestic sphere is under siege. From below, with a dangerous floor, and from the outside, with a tumbleweed.
And the mop is the shield, the mop is the wall.
It paints a picture of a person who is under constant, unrelenting threat. Hunted by brooms, slipping on killer floors, invaded by sand salesmen, leaking mustard from their chest. It's a life of absolute terror.
Which is precisely why the sales pitch works. In a life of terror, you don't need a cleaner, you need a bodyguard. You need a savior.
But the cost of this salvation. This brings us to the economics of this world. And if you thought the biology was broken, just wait until you see the financial advice. Section 6. Economic nihilism.
Yes.
The narrator advises, and this is a direct quote, don't ever eat diapers again. Save you money on paper towels. Take that money you save and throw it in your trash can.
It's a brilliant piece of anti-capitalist rhetoric.
Let's start with the first part. Why were we eating diapers?
The diaper is the ultimate symbol of waste retention. Eating a diaper is a recursive, horrifying loop consuming the thing that is designed to hold waste. It suggests a society so desperate, so resource-poor, or just so deeply confused that they are consuming sanitary products themselves.
It's pica on a societal scale.
Exactly, and then comes the financial advice.
Make that money you save and throw it in your trash can.
Yeah.
I tried to do the math on this. If I save $20 on paper towels and then I throw $20 in the trash, I had $0. It's a net zero gain. It makes no economic sense.
It makes perfect sense if you reject capitalism entirely. The text is telling you that the money itself is trash. It has no value.
Money is worthless.
In the face of the broom hunt and the mustard tank explosion, of what use is currency? You cannot bribe a hunting broom. You cannot pay the sand salesman to go away. The mop frees us from the cycle of buying paper towels, only to reveal the ultimate futility of wealth. It is pure nihilism. Save money, then throw it away. Because in the end, we all return to dust.
And yet, there is a transaction proposed. A barter. And this is, well, it's memorable. Read a poem to my wiener and I'll give you $20.
The degradation of art, the commodification of the soul.
It's so specific. A poem to a phallus for $20.
Think about the role of the poet throughout history. The bard, the seer, the voice of the people. Here the artist is reduced to the lowest possible status.
Art is prostitution.
In this system, yes. The narrator, the demigod, the holder of the mop demands tribute. He demands that the highest form of human expression, poetry, be debased to serve the basest biological organ. You are literally selling your dignity for a discount on a cleaning product.
It's a critique of the gig economy taken to its endpoint. You're reciting poetry to a wiener for a coupon.
I can't imagine what that poem would sound like.
Oh, mighty cylinder. No, I can't do it.
Please don't.
But it proves the point. The dignity is gone. And then the math falls apart completely.
The mathematical glitch.
If you spend $20 on a smart mop, our company will get $20.
A perfect tautology. It just describes a purchase.
Right. But then he adds the incentives. Plus 6 loaves of bread.
Bread. Why bread?
Exactly my question. Why not extra mop pads? Why not a special bucket? Why 6 loaves of bread? That's a lot of carbs.
Panem et circenses.
Bread and circuses.
The Roman formula for keeping a population docile. The empire provided free grain, the bread and mass entertainment, the circuses, the gladiators, to keep the masses from revolting.
So the smart mop company is adopting the strategy of the Roman Empire.
Precisely. They feed the body with the bread, and they feed the mind's fear with the mop. The company provides the basic staple of life, along with the tool of purification. It suggests the smart mop company isn't just a retailer, it is the state. It is the provider.
It gives you the bread to survive and the mop to clean up the crumbs.
It is a totalizing, all-encompassing system.
And then he yells, "That's a $50 fucking value that you can get for $20 fucking dollars." The aggression and the pricing strategy, he seems angry that he's giving you this deal.
He despises the customer. He knows we need the bread. He knows we are hunted by brooms. He can curse at us because he holds all the power, all the supply. He is a tyrant.
We're nearing the end of the text now, and the tone shifts from that aggression to a kind of profound, melancholic despair. Section 7.
The final act.
We see an image described. Here's a woman fingering a toilet.
The depths of human sadness.
It is such a stark, bleak image. A woman, her hand in the toilet bowl, searching. And the narrator says, here's a smart mop cleaning up the bubblegum squirts the toilet right behind.
Bubblegum squirts! The infantilization of the waste. It's dismissed as something trivial, but focus on the woman.
She's touching the toilet.
She has violated the fundamental boundary between the human and the waste receptacle. She is searching for meaning in the porcelain void. It's the ultimate image of despair. She has lost something, or she herself is broken. She is touching the unclean.
And the mop rescues her.
The mop rescues her not just from the mess, but from the indignity. It intervenes so that she doesn't have to touch the void herself.
But does it actually rescue her? Or does it just replace her hand? Is it a solution or just a different tool for the same despair?
It mediates. It places a barrier between the human skin and the horror of the toilet, and perhaps that is all civilization is in the end. A stick with a sponge on it. That is the only thing separating us from the animals.
And finally, the pitch concludes with the ultimate offer, the emotional hook. If you're looking for a best friend, you're looking for a smart mop.
The final tragedy.
Is this really the state of humanity? That our only friend, our best friend, is a synthetic absorber of diarrhea?
Look at the evidence the text has presented us with. Humans are leaky mustard tanks who cannot help you. Aliens are indifferent observers, just studying us. Brooms are actively hunting us. Salesmen bring chaos to our floors. Who is left? Who is actually on your side?
Only the mop.
Only the mop. Humans will betray you. Objects will revolt. But the smart mop absorbs your sins. It absorbs the acid, the hair, the ass juice. It takes it all in and it never complains. It is the only entity in this universe capable of unconditional acceptance of our filth.
So the mop is the confessor.
It is the confessor, the savior, and the companion. It is the only friend left at the end of the world. To say you're looking for a smart mop is to say you are lonely and you are disgusting and I am the only one who can tolerate you.
That is profoundly depressing.
Or perhaps profoundly comforting, depending on how much mustard is currently on your shirt.
So we've dissected the artifact. We've covered the chronological paradox of the Mesopotamian plastic. We have the physics of acid and diarrhea. We have the ritual of the limbo.
The economy of trash money and bread. The war against the brooms.
And finally, the friendship of the absorber.
We have mapped the glitch in the system.
I started this deep dive thinking this was a joke, a chaotic, meaningless parody. But you've convinced me that there is a consistent, albeit terrifying, internal logic at play here. It's a complete worldview.
It is a warning.
So what did this all mean for the listener? Why should they care about Anthony Sullivan and his ancient alien observed artifact?
Because the sand salesman is coming.
Metaphorically.
Whether you view him as time or death or just the accumulation of daily stress, the entropy is coming to your door. And you need to ask yourself, are you equipped to handle it? Are you still trying to clean up the sand with ketchup? Are you just adding to the noise and the mess? Or are you ready to pulverize it?
You're asking them to embrace the mop philosophy.
I am asking them to recognize the absurdity of their own condition. We are all just trying to keep the floor clean, while the universe is actively trying to dissolve it with acid. The mop is just a symbol of that eternal struggle.
A symbol that you can shove up a crocodile's rear end, apparently.
If the ritual demands it, yes.
Well, I certainly will never look at the cleaning aisle in the supermarket the same way again. I don't think I can look at a loaf of bread the same way again either.
Then the text has done its work on you.
This has been the deep dive. We've unpacked the ontology of absorption. We have stared into the abyss of the smart mop, and the smart mop has stared back, hungry for a snack.
Indeed it has.
Before you go, here is a final thought to chew on. The narrator said the aliens come to study the mops. If the aliens landed on Earth tomorrow, and they looked at your life, your tools, your habits, your messes, would they see a sentient being worth contacting? Or would they just see a smart mop snack waiting to be absorbed?
And if a broom were hunting you right now, would you even know it?
Sleep tight, everyone.
And don't eat the diapers.
Yeah.